G'day there guys, it's your main masculine hunk of a hubby Markee, back at it again with another installment of r/LegalAdvice. Now, if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe and join my amazing sexy community. With that out of the way, I'd love for you to personally sit back, relax, chuck another prawn on the barbie, and get ready for some stories that'll have you begging for more. Son has a peanut allergy. School continues to give him or allow him to get peanuts. School-related issues. So this has been an ongoing issue since the second day of school, where he was given peanut butter crackers. We sort of brushed it off as a new school year, new students, teachers a bit frazzled, dealing with first graders no real big deal. His allergy isn't really severe, but still not fun to deal with and can potentially become life-threatening. We had already informed the school of his allergy before the year even started, and even talked directly to the teacher about it, because the default snack during the day if no other parents brought a snack in is peanut butter crackers. We even offered to purchase a special alternative for him, but they said it was unnecessary as they have other alternatives. So we figure the issue was over when a few weeks later it happened again. This time they claimed he grabbed another student's snack and ran off to eat it before they could stop him. Yeah, that sounds so reputable, I'm sure that happened. Now, my little one can be a little bit of a hardhead, and I can potentially see this happening. So again we talked to him about peanuts, and how dangerous they are to him. He continued to adamantly deny doing that, and said Mrs. gave them to him. We then decide a meeting with the principal is in order. Not to blame the teacher or accuse her of lying, but to hopefully get this under control. Again, a few weeks of no more issues, then it happened again. Once again, the story is, he grabbed it and ran off, and ate the whole package before we caught him. Okay, so a 6-year-old managed to grab an unopened package of crackers, elude a teacher and an aide, and eat the whole package before he's caught? He's crying and swearing to us he was given them, and after so many incidents, we have to start believing him. Another meeting with the principal and teacher gets us a "do not worry, this won't happen again." We have another long sit down with our son to explain that even if it is given to you, ask to make sure it doesn't have peanuts or other nuts in it. Then, the very next school day, the meeting was on Friday by the way, he's given another snack of peanut butter crackers, but this time he asks if there's nuts in it, and then he's given the alternative. We figure it kind of sucks that the kid has the adult right here, but at the end of the day, he's learning to ask about nuts. We send an email to the principal detailing the issue, and say the next stop is the school board if he is given peanuts again. We get a response back. Well, if he's asking now, what's the problem? He should have known to ask to begin with. We are teachers, not parents. We have no issues for a while until this week. Some parent brought in PB&J sandwiches for snack time and he was given one. He forgot to ask about nuts, but thought it was only in the crackers. We find out the parent was aware of a nut allergy in the class. It's on the parent snack sheet, and brought in just a jelly one that was made separate from the peanut butter ones. He was not given this one. We spent a day at the hospital. We have had endless talks with him about nuts and do our best to teach him, but some of the blame has to be on the teacher here, right? Do schools not have an obligation to deal with allergies? The school lunch seems to have zero issues with this and has never give him a nut, when there are several things on the menu rotation that contain them. He gets a special tray that has nowhere near any nuts. This is in Indiana. Any help is appreciated. These Mood says, I grew up with a tree nut allergy, so my parents had to deal with the same issues you're facing now. It's great that you're so proactive in teaching your son to stand up for himself. My mum did that for me, and it's a skill that comes in handy. Sadly, people can be really stupid about allergies, and it puts kids at risk. Lots of parents and teachers would tempt me to ignore my mum's rules and eat the class treats. Thank God I said no, because more than once those treats contained nuts. It's a heavy burden to put on a 6-year-old, and your principal is way out of line blaming your son for these reactions. You say your son's allergy isn't severe, but any allergy that could be life-threatening is severe, and the school should be taking it seriously. In my opinion, they're violating your son's rights and the ADA by giving him peanut-contaminated food. But the reality is that it's difficult to prove ADA complaints, or even get them resolved. I've tried. Here is what I would recommend. 1. Buy a novelty lunchbox and fill it with special treats for your son. Bring it to school and insist that they put it in the classroom. At snack time, he gets those snacks and nothing else. I was obsessed with The Lion King, so we had a 3D Simba lunchbox that was frankly very rad. 2. Tell your son to stop accepting food from the teachers, full stop. He can only have food at lunchtime or from his special lunchbox. If the school complains, remind them that they've already caused an allergic reaction 3 times, and you need to protect your son. 3. Can he read? Start teaching him to read ingredient labels, and to recognize the word peanuts. There are lots of big words in ingredient labels, but the allergens are usually listed in bold and repeated at the bottom. Make it second nature to check all of his food. This has saved me more than once as an adult. And 4. In case you don't already know, FARE has been the #1 resource on the food allergies for literally decades. They might have some more ideas. And 5. Most important, are there EpiPens at the school? Where are they kept, and do teachers know where they're kept? Can teachers name the signs of a dangerous reaction? Will the school administer EpiPens in an emergency? My biggest fear here isn't that they'll give your son peanuts again, it's that they'll give him peanuts and then ignore a life-threatening reaction. If they're clueless enough to keep giving your son peanut butter crackers, what will they do if he goes into anaphylactic shock? You're right, the school has an obligation to protect your son, and they're failing him. This needs to go to the school board, the superintendent, and whoever else holds power over the school. Trust your instincts. This feels like a big deal because it is. Don't wait for them to make him sick a 4th time. Good luck. And now, update. School kept giving our son peanuts even though he's allergic. Lawyers are expensive. The past 3 months have been long and expensive, but it's finally resolved. Now, I can't go into a lot of details after, but I can go over some of the details that happened during. We contacted a few attorneys, and finally found one we were comfortable with, and then the fun started. We first sat down with the principal and teacher with our attorney, and he didn't say anything except he needs to talk to someone else and not us. Our attorney then began collecting documents and statements/affidavits from our pediatrician, another doctor, and even got another opinion. Then he began having us get documents from the school, some of which they said we couldn't have, but our lawyer assured us that we could have them. So he sent the school district some nice letters, and a few phone calls later, we had everything. Talking to our insurance and the hospital was the easiest part of this entire thing, which I thought would be more complicated. And our insurance even offered their attorney's services to our attorney, which turned out to be quite helpful, with some of the other issues that came out along the way. He spent about a month going over everything, talking to doctors, getting more statements, and reaching out to other parents, etc. During this time, our child was moved from his normal classroom and placed in a special needs classroom. Something we did not agree to or with. Our child has no developmental problems, and an allergy hardly is a special need. So our lawyer then starts having us request more documents. Same act with the school, and he had to send off letters and phone calls to get the new stuff related to him being put into the special needs classroom. The lawyer began sending letters about how the school district is punishing our child with the move to a more restrictive classroom and a different curriculum. And bim bam bam, magically the next day, he's back in a normal classroom. Finally, after 3 months of mostly playing the game with the school district, getting them to give us the paperwork and requests they are legally required to do, we all finally sit down with the school district's attorney and our attorney. Now, I can't go into a lot of the details, but I can tell you they settled without us moving on to the next step of having our meetings in a courtroom. Lawyers are expensive, and so are the hospital bills. I just hope all of this doesn't make our child a target for the rest of the year. We are going to be moving and changing jobs over the summer, hopefully. Thank you for all your help and advice, guys and girls. The plans everyone brought up for us to look over was incredibly important, because we already had them on file with the school. Honestly, I wonder if you could get them for like attempted manslaughter for trying to like, knowingly kill the kid 3 times, because, it only takes 1 time and not a fast enough response to kill someone with a reaction like that. And I don't know, you guys can tell me if I'm wrong or not, but doesn't the reaction get worse every time that you're exposed to nuts? That's what I heard from someone. I don't know if it's true, could be a conspiracy theory. Tell me in the comments. Anyway guys, we're on to the next story now. By I Need Will Help 129. I'm supposed to have money put aside for me for university from both of my deceased parents. My stepmom says there is no money left, and what was left by my dad was used to send my step-siblings to university and pay for the family's expenses. Can someone help me please? I'm really sorry if this is long, but I have no idea where to turn to get help. I'm also sorry if screw up terms. I'm a minor, and I'm about to start my last year of high school. I'm currently living in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. My mum passed away when I was 2, and we lived in Vancouver at the time. My dad remarried when I was 8, and I ended up becoming the youngest kid in the family. My stepmom has always been mentally unstable and hates me in general. My dad passed away roughly 6 years ago from cancer. Before my dad passed away, he told me that there was a trust set up to me with a fair amount of money to pay for my university from his first wife. He also told me that his will was set up to ensure that I wouldn't need to worry about anything for university or need to worry about money. He told me over and over that I would be taken care of no matter what. Earlier this month, my stepmom made a comment vaguely asking how I expected to pay for college/university on minimum wage. I told her what my dad told me, and she said that everything my dad left was spent to take care of the family, and to send my older step-siblings to university. She said it was first come, first serve. She had also absolutely refused to help me in any way, as it is a waste of her time. I have ripped apart the house trying to find any sort of paperwork for my mum's and dad's estate, but I cannot find anything. I have tried to talk to 2 lawyers who specializes in wills and estates. The first one told me he could not do a consult with a minor unless my guardian is present. No chance, obviously. The other one basically wanted a lot of money to even do anything, which I don't have. I have also tried to reach out to my estranged parts of my mum's family. Her sister was able to dig up something with the name of the company who took care of her estate, but that company no longer seems to exist. My dad, on the other hand, was an only child, and as long as I remember, I don't remember anyone else from his family, nor can I find anything. I don't really know where to look or what to do at this point anymore. I am terrified that my stepmother used this money to pay for all the frivolous bullcrap she has wasted money on, and pay for my step-siblings' tuition. I am also terrified that if there is really no money, that I'm basically going to get screwed hard. I need to get away from my stepmother no matter what. And now, onto the update. I just wanted to say thank you to all for the advice and help I received, especially Der Spiny. I was able to get in touch with an awesome lawyer who specializes in wills and trusts, who, after explaining my whole situation to him, said that he was willing to do the discovery for free. He was able to find that I not only have 1 trust, but 2 trusts for me. One of the trusts was set up a long time ago, most likely by my mother, and is still intact and safe, which was more than enough for me. But unfortunately, the second trust was most likely improperly set up or handled, as it seems to have been emptied about 2 years ago. He gave me a bunch more useful advice, and gave me detailed instructions on how to use the trust properly, along with a bunch of recommendations to ensure the money is not touched by my stepmother or siblings. I also managed to talk to my step-siblings, and basically learned that they both considered themselves estranged from my stepmother. My older stepbrother pays for her utilities/rent, but that's it. They aren't on speaking terms in any way, and recommend me to get out right away. Apparently, my stepsister was also supposed to have a bunch of money for her education, only for it to mysteriously dry up after her first year of university, with her mum telling her she spent all her 4 years of tuition in 1 year. So now she is paying her way. Anyways, I have decided to basically keep my head down for the last year of high school and get out as soon as university starts, and never look back. Thank you so much for your help. That sounds like a terrifying situation to be in. But hey, as I've read online, that's what community colleges and stuff are for. Just grind your way up and, hope for a better life later on, I guess. Anyway guys, our next story was posted by user Tamilinian, titled, Georgia. Just moved into a condo. Neighbor is tasing hell over my non-existent pet bird. I guess that's raising hell, but tasing hell, man. Just with a freaking taser gun. Bzzz. Oh god, Satan. I just bought a condo that has been vacant for a while. Right after I bought the place, before I even started moving in, I got an official warning from the HOA that my next door neighbor has called their emergency line 3 times over my pet bird that is so loud in the mornings it startled him awake and caused him emotional distress. In their email, they specifically said that what time my bird was making these loud noises. Now, the thing is, I don't have any pets, and for the past few nights, I've stayed up to that specific time to see if I could hear anything loud and disturbing as he described, which I did not, aside from a few birds chirping quietly outside. However, the neighbor is still calling the homeowner association's emergency line every night to complain about my bird. The homeowner association manager doesn't believe I don't have a pet bird, even though I've offered to let him come see. He said that I could just be hiding the bird. Today I got a letter from Animal Welfare and Enforcement about my birds vocalizing disturbing the peace. It said that I can be taken to court because of my bird if the neighbor complains again. I don't have a bird or any pet. I've tried talking to the guy, but he refuses to answer his door, and when he comes over to watch me leave for work, he will shut his door and ignore me if I try to talk to him. Am I seriously going to have to go to court because this guy thinks I have a pet bird? How am I supposed to prove that I don't have a bird? I think we found some good answers in the comments. He knows you don't have a bird, he doesn't want a neighbor, and is gaming the system. You just discovered why that place was vacant. You may want to start talking to attorney now. Hopefully, a strongly worded letter to all parties involved will be enough to redirect your new neighbor's crazy somewhere else. I guess bird wasn't the word after all. I'll leave. And our update, Georgia just moved into a condo, neighbor is raising hell over a non-existent pet bird. They fixed up their writing mistake, hell yeah. I got another complaint from the head guy running the homeowners association that my now multiple birds are causing severe emotional distress to my neighbors and their children, who can't sleep at night because of my flock of birds. The wife sent a recording to him as proof of my birds, and to tell him to tell me my smoke alarm is also beeping and needs the batteries replaced, because they can hear it from their unit as well. Now, you can clearly hear a smoke alarm beeping, as well as birds chirping on the recording. However, the beeping is coming from their unit, as I can faintly hear it if I press my ear to the shaded wall. And the birds that are supposedly my pets? The ones that are so loud that their whole household can't sleep and it's causing severe emotional distress? Those are the birds outside. It's literally the chirping of the birds outside they're hearing. Now, I'm no Disney princess, so I have no effect on wild birds, or imaginary pet birds for that matter. I mean, my singing is so terrible that it actually scares them away. And I'm not sure how any person that is not a complete moron would mistake ordinary bird chirping for a flock of loud, abused rainforest birds. I've sent a letter to their homeowners association telling them to kindly pound sand and stop harassing me over the wild birds that I have no control over. I've never heard that before. Pound sand. Epic. Oh, I'm learning so much today. I'm also going to record the birds from my porch and from inside the condo, so if they say I have birds again, I can prove that it's just ordinary outside birds making reasonable outside bird noises. I'm looking into getting a bird feeder as well, because it's allowed by the homeowner association covenants, and screw these people for being utter imbeciles and blaming me for the natural behavior of wild animals. Now, I'm just gonna sit and wait for the next problem they have with me, because I don't think these nitwits will take kindly to being proven wrong over something so stupid. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed that one today. Everybody tell me down in the comments if bird is the word or not. I really want to know. Hopefully I'm not schizophrenic because I can hear some birds right now. Heck. Anyway guys, I hope you do have a good day. I know I mentioned in some of those videos before that I was going to look for collaborations. I feel like I was being annoying, and I'm going to give up on the collaboration things. I kind of got clapped a little bit when I went looking for them. I'm not going to speak on it too much, but anyway, I'm just focusing on me for now. I'm going to, try and get this channel to 100k. Just going to keep pumping out content and being the best version of me that I can be. As of recording this, it's Thursday night, so I don't know, I was just in a bad mood tonight, and I love you guys. I love everything about you guys. I hope you've all had a good night, day, whatever you're up to, man. Thank you guys for all your support. I'll see you in the next episode, and I love you. Have a good night. Bye.